He's got a charger though. No, I'm gonna stop.
There's one over there on the left, on the right side.
Chuckie, man. Make sure that's ready for the howlers. There's like 9.
Yeah, but you know, a couple of them we're actually going to talk about.
Yeah, that's what I kind of thought, you know.
Yeah.
Chucks. So I was watching I don't listen to no podcast. I'll make that very clear. I don't listen to no one's podcast. I don't listen to this one. I just watch the audios. I love watching stuff, innit?
Yeah.
So I was watching Joe Budden's podcast. I always go and watch their stuff. I can't lie, it's too funny still. And he had Vince Staples on. So he had a 7-minute clip. So if Vince Staples is there, I'm 100% there.
Yeah.
If he'd done a podcast, I would listen.
Yeah.
He's too lit. They were speaking about superstars.
Oh, yeah.
And they were asking, like, how many superstars do we really have today?
Oh, we had this here, by the way, but you wasn't here.
Huh?
We had this. I had this with Slick, but you wasn't
Is
here
it?
today. Yeah, but go on anyway. It would be good to hear your perspective.
I don't think there's many.
There isn't.
And it's the metrics, and I clocked what Vince was saying, and they were like, they're fully right. And I kind of thought it as well. And it's a nice way of saying it so people don't get too upset. It's like, I can only speak from the place that we're from. So like the type of music that we make and the environment and the industry that we are in, so to speak. Because it derives from culture, the only way you can be a superstar is aligning yourself with the principles of culture. You can't be a superstar in the building. It's absolutely, from our thing, it's not really possible.
From our perspective?
Yeah,
no,
you
you're
can't
right.
possible.
100%.
You'll get to a point where you get loads of attention and it will give you the image that you're a superstar. But what's, to me, a superstar is like J Hus. That guy don't have to do no press. He don't have to impress anyone. He ain't got to do press-ups. Nothing a go on. He can just announce a tape, announce a tour. He can do a collaboration with Gap. I guarantee you he's sold out within 5 minutes.
Yeah. He's not a superstar, though.
I think he's a superstar.
Okay.
I think people have to think are not superstars if you're reliant on too many outside factors to do your thing. The real superstars are the people that pioneer. The real superstars are the people that when they step out, we all listen. We don't have to hear that Kiss is playing you and One Extra's playing you and you're doing Jonathan Ross this week and you're at this place this week. No. The superstar comes out and everyone comes to him. Dave, superstar. That's what I think. I think, and I won't say names of people that are not superstars because I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. But one thing I will tell you, a lot of you, man, are not superstars. Because if we take away the mechanic that assists you,
Facts.
we'll find out who you are.
Yeah, of course.
Why do you say J Hus is not a superstar?
I think J Hus is a star. I think the reason why I would say he's not a superstar is because that impact that he has within culture is in the culture that we have here and maybe in elements of the culture that is close to what we have in various different parts in Europe and around the world, but it's not the same. I think when you are a superstar, you can tap into this, because remember, we're talking about black culture here, innit? Yeah. So black culture is not just London and it's not just England and it's not just Europe. There's elements of black culture in various parts of the world. And so for me, I agree with everything that you said, but I think that a superstar taps into all of that. A superstar.
What does J Hus not? Do you mean
a superstar?
So
a star?
Is J Hus not? People not aware of J Hus in other cultures? You're saying, or what are you saying?
In the same black culture that we have in various different parts of the world, it's the
J Hus's impact is a bit more minimal.
It's smaller, which makes him a star still because he still has the impact far and wide. He still has the impact far and wide, but what makes you a superstar is the equivalency of it being almost the same, but damn near everywhere. That's where I would go with a superstar. And that's why I say he's a star, but that's why I also say we don't have no superstars here, really. In my heart,
this is where I gotta stop you.
In my heart, though, I look at to me, this is just me, and I know that everyone can debunk this. But to me, I still look at D-Double as a superstar.
All right.
To me, I do.
So let me show you why I feel J Hus and Dave are superstars. when you're selling to a market, you got to look at the market, the people, and then you got to equate that to another market. So if you sell to 10 million in the States and I sell to 1 million over here, if we take a look at the percentages of the people that we're selling to, I might actually be selling to a higher percentage of people than you. The only thing is, your outreach and where you are just means that you can do a lot more. It's the equivalent of being the coolest boy in a school of 100 or the coolest boy in a school of 1,000. There's 1,000 people witnessing you, but I could actually be cooler than you in a school of 100. So when I take a look at the impact they're having under the circumstances and what they're managing to achieve, for me, I understand fully where you're coming from and I understand it from a business perspective. But from a life perspective, J Hus has to be a superstar because he doesn't align himself with anything that people would do in order for them to be a success within this business. He does what the fuck he wants and everybody in the UK knows who he is. Everybody knows his songs, and the day he came out of prison, Drake brought him on stage. So for me, J Hus is a superstar because his path that he's created for himself to be a success is not available for anybody else. But there are so many paths that are in the building that are available for everyone. I think Dave's path is available for nobody else. These man, even though under your metrics you're right, they could be stars, their metrics let me know, by your terms, they're on the way to being superstars. By my terms,
they're superstars.
They are superstars.
And you know what? I'm not mad at it.
No.
I'm not mad at it at all.
Same.
Because I think exactly that. I think for me, again, to me, with my own biasness, I would look at Dave and say he's a superstar.
It's not biasness.
But it is to me. Because when I actually look at it, I'm like, he's not a superstar yet. But he's on the way to being a superstar.
What did he do? O2 Arena or the O2?
But we can't just talk about here.
But I have to talk about that because I'm talking about a boy from an estate where the majority of black people are going to be in the estate. Outside of the estate, his influence is going to be minuscule. For the simple fact that there's so many things holding him back within this country. He's part of 3%, 1.1 million and 65 million. So if you are known and getting number ones under them circumstances, for me to call you a star when someone else in America has got a bigger audience to sell to, so they're going to make more money and do more and have more of an impact. No. Because in actual reality, I think that's the star.
But I hear that.
Because Jesus, if he was on Twitter, if Jesus was on Instagram, in the time that he was doing his thing, he had about 10 followers. But he's a superstar. Hitler in 1950 would have had about 1.5. But who's the real superstar?
But I think when
Christ.
When you're talking about a superstar, you can't divide this thing of, well, you know what? Like, you have a bigger market to sell it over there. A superstar sells to the bigger market everywhere.
No, but then, like I'm trying to say to you,
within culture.
I'm trying to say to you.
That's with what you're saying. So I'm not saying externally.
That's sad.
I'm saying within culture, though.
Again, I think that's the parameters of business.
I think this is one of the reasons.
Can I just say
You're
giving me business parameters. I'm not giving you business parameters.
Can I just say this as well?
I'm just like, in life, that is difficult to achieve.
Of course it is.
If you achieve it on the scale that you've achieved it, you have to be a superstar. But if you're born into a, say for example, English boy called Tom, a rapper called, or not, I don't want to say names. Let's just say Tom. Tom from Sheffield becomes a successful rapper. He's a white boy. He has 89% people to appeal to. So if he gets more numbers and does more everything and has more impact on the whole of Europe, you can't be a superstar because in my eyes, the audience you're selling to is on your doorstep. Man's audience is not on man's doorstep. So if man is even selling half of what you're selling, I'm the superstar.
I'm not comparing, yeah, but what you're saying is right, but you're taking the argument and bringing it to something different. I'm not talking about them. I'm still talking about within culture and within our culture, and within black culture. See, this is the thing, for me, this is one of the reasons why I feel like we mix up legends too much. It's like some people do some very legendary stuff,
but they're not stars.
But then when you see a legend, you're like, okay, like, no disrespect to my man, but this is actually a legend. So then what we're doing now is we're then saying, okay, let's remove the goalposts because you know what, they're doing X, Y. With legendary things, I just don't think that you remove goalposts.
No, this is where I think you're wrong. D-Double can be described as a legend, maybe not a superstar. J Hus has to be a superstar. Because what I'm saying to you is, if I have circumstances in front of me and you have circumstances in front of you, the reason why I compare it is because you're talking about black culture all over the world. I'm saying to you, at Central C, for example, and this is not even to be rude, the impact he'll have on Europe will be stronger someone like J Hus, even if he was to close his mouth and just be on television and put it on mute. Because instantly, people can look at him and relate to him because of the color of his skin. This is not like me trying to be rude or anything like that. I'm not saying that.
That doesn't make him a superstar.
No. But what I'm saying to you is superstar is down to you were saying impact you have on every single community across the world. I'm saying to you as a black
collectively.
person,
so black culture collectively.
But let me tell you, as a black person, it's more difficult to achieve that.
Right.
So I'm not moving the goalposts. Right. I'm saying
if
it's easier to achieve that as somebody else, you can be a superstar before that person. But essentially, my job, for me to achieve what I've achieved in a year, irrespective of the results, is going to be more, not irrespective of the results, but if the results are good, irrespective of your results, it's going to be harder to achieve what I'm achieving. So essentially, we're basically saying is, like, not you, but it looks like it's easier to be a superstar under different circumstances. I think J Hus to me,
I don't think that we have much superstars in life anyway. For me, I don't. Like a superstar. Rihanna is a superstar. That's a superstar. Like, even let's go over to like even that side. Yeah. Like Adele is a superstar. Yeah.
All right, pause. That is a prime example of what I'm talking about. Adele will be a superstar before any other artist in this country.
Listen,
easier.
I hear that.
She is a white Caucasian lady selling pain, bro, singing a C note.
Bro,
everyone.
I don't agree. But listen, I don't disagree.
That's not fair.
But what I'm saying is, I don't disagree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
But just in life anyway, there isn't a lot of them. There isn't a lot, bro.
Is it because
like when we look at actual superstar, we can't change it. We can't say, oh, but like a superstar is a superstar.
I hear you, but I'm just changing things.
So if we're saying, let's just go back to ours, yeah? We can all agree Rihanna is a superstar.
Massive.
Yeah. So are we putting J Hus and Rihanna in the same conversation?
It's accessibility.
Yes.
Unfair. It's accessibility. Social media.
I am.
Nah, man. It's accessibility.
They both have a child in the Caribbean.
She's from Barbados, my brother.
What, Rihanna?
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying accessibility, social media.
Look how small that place is, by the way.
Big man, don't let her. Do you know where Rihanna went? Do you know where Rihanna went?
But these people,
Rihanna got signed by Jay-Z, bro.
But Marley was a superstar. Look how small that place was,
yeah,
bro.
that's because
look
of
how small it is.
accessibility and social media, bro. For me,
for Rihanna,
what? That Rihanna's a superstar because of
she was about before. She was about before.
Yeah,
there was so much access.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's what. Yeah,
she was about.
Yeah, but
before
listen, can I just say?
Do you know what it is? Vince Staples said.
Interrupt you. Wait, sorry. Yeah.
God.
I'm not saying it's easy. This is the reason why I believe that we don't have much superstars because of how difficult it actually is.
But it was easier back then to be a superstar because there wasn't so much.
You could be right.
I don't think it was easier. I don't think it was easier. It was easier to tell. I understand what Chuckie's actually right. I'm just a troll.
Okay, cool.
I'm being a troll, but I'm sticking to what I'm saying because J Hus is a superstar, and so's Skepta, and I don't care what anyone says.
Skepta's a superstar, 100%.
And so's J Hus and Dave, and so's Gets. These are superstars. But my point is this, yeah. I fully agree with what you lot are coming from because, like, Vince Staples said the same thing. Imagine back in the day, yeah, like. My brother, like certain guys had certain outfits and certain drip and certain things, and you'd be like, "Raw man, that guy's a superstar." You jump on Instagram, there's 20 other people with it, so now it's just like, that's not so starish anymore. So my whole thing is now, for me, obviously, like I said, I'm biased. I'm looking at the superstar thing and I'm saying, all right, if you just align the principles of life and you make music which resonates with people outside of industry, you have, and you are successful with it over a course of time. You're right. In the actual reality, Chuckie's right. You will eventually be a superstar. But for me, you're a superstar.
J Hus has got all the minerals to be a superstar, and Dave absolutely. That's it. Like because what you mentioned, Dave's just done all the arenas or whatever. In Europe now, he's doing them as well, and in America, well, he's not doing arenas, but he's doing really big venues. And now in America, he's doing what 2,000-3,000 capacity, maybe even 5,000.
What?
And you know what? Yeah. No, he's not doing 5. He's doing 2 or 3. Yeah, but the reason
3,000 capacity in America.
Right, and so listen, this is not like doing it in New York and doing it in LA is one thing. Doing it in Boston,
Middle America,
he's like in Boston.
I know, I'm not sure how big the venues are.
It doesn't matter. He's got a venue in Boston. He's doing it in Boston.
But you know what? Do you know who else as well? Who else is doing the same thing as well? Little Sims. Go and check her tour dates.
She's great superstar.
Go and check her tour dates and go and check the capacities of the venues that she's doing.
But that's
big
not
venues, you know.
But Little Sims is a superstar. That's not an argument. That can't be an argument.
If you look at all the superstars,
she's in Top Boy as a girl. This can't be an argument,
bro.
I'll shout to this on him.
Go on.
If you look at all the superstars, they bring something unique to the game, innit? Right? Every single one of them, they do it differently. Correct?
Yeah.
Bob Marley, Rihanna, Drake, all these man, they've changed the game.
Right.
Different dynamic. J Hus is completely unique. You ain't never seen no one like J Hus.
But the thing is,
you're not putting J Hus and Rihanna in the same conversation, and that's unfair.
No.
What to who? It's unfair to J Hus. You're right. Rihanna's over there. J Hus.
I agree with what you're saying. Yeah. I kind of agree with what he's saying. To us in the UK, we have our own superstars.
Yeah, of course.
When you open up the world now, cool. The world needs to digest and see these men and accept them for what they are.
Right.
And then.
Yeah, so and that's why I agree. So everything, I don't disagree with what he's saying. I don't disagree with it because he's mentioning some really good points. I'm just saying, for me, when I push it to the side, I'm looking at these men. I'm saying that at the moment they're stars. We're gonna see you know what? We can say superstarism now until we actually one day see it.
When
we one day see it, then we're gonna be like, you know what? This is a superstar. It's undeniable.
I've never been a fan of that metric.
Oh, do you know what? No. He's just.
I'm not comparing us to the rest of the world. I'm comparing us to us here, there, and there.
Chuckie's actually right, but I'll never admit it. But I just what he said was the truth. It's not undeniable. It's a conversation we're having right now. Rihanna is undeniable. J Hus is undeniable.
Do you know what? While we're here, let's stick with music then. Yeah.
Go on.
So, have you been seeing the conversation recently about the quality of UK music at the moment? So there was two conversations that I felt that were being had in one. It was UK music being dead.
I saw that. I disagree completely.
Of course. And then also watching the conversations being unfolded with all of that. The conversation, I think, really what should have been happening is the debate about the quality of mainstream UK black music, which is a different conversation. Do you understand where I'm going with that?
We should look at the quality of our life.
Right, go on.
It sounds crazy, bro. If you're a high street walker, you're probably not that invested in like loads of things intricately. I've noticed the people that are intricate individuals take a bit more attention to detail. So when I see these conversations that are spurning on about UK music, the music they're always speaking about is always the music that's available in Topshop and River Island, and I've never really grown up liking that, and I don't think the person telling me is grown up liking that. So why are you telling us something we all know? But if you go to Patter, or if you went to a daily paper, or you went to a trap star store when it was open, you might hear the music that you actually like. So why don't we speak about that music when we talk about UK music? Why have we always got to talk about the music that is accessible in River Island?
This is the thing, yeah.
I don't get it.
I was saying because I was saying to myself, like, for me personally, there's never been a period of time in my life where the music that has been at the forefront of the mainstream or industry has been that appealing to me. It never has been. And I'm asking people, so when people are saying to me, oh yeah, but like it's at the forefront of the main of the industry now, it's the stuff that's being pushed. I'm like, okay, well, tell me a period of time in life when we could say this period of time within mainstream music, this was just the absolute vibe. I don't think we can. Do you know what? Yeah. Do you know what? I don't think we can. Do you know why people feel like they can? The reason why people feel like they can is because they cherry pick. So they go back and they say, oh, do you know what? Yeah, but this was good and that was good and this was good. That's because good music lasts the test of time. Yeah. Bad music or shit music as a whole, even though it's subjective, doesn't really. So while you're cherry picking and saying this one and that one and this one, do you know how much foolishness that came out around that time? Do you remember what went top 10 and what went number 1 and did all of that type of stuff? We didn't care about that.
Teletubbies was number 1 at a time, you know.
Right.
Like proper. Tinky Winky, Dipsy, La La. My brother, Goldfield, that was number one, bro.
Pooh.
It's just laziness, bro.
Do you know, it's not even that. I think one thing we have to all appreciate, yeah, and Chuckie's been saying it from the dawn of time on this podcast about if life was just like, if we just had one fruit in a fruit bowl, it'd be boring. Like, there's all types of fruits. And it's like, I totally agree. There's all types of music, and all types of music serves a different purpose. And even I've had to understand that. All music serves a different purpose. There's different ceilings for different music, and you just figure out what ceiling you like to be under, and you'll figure out the music that's for you, and then judge that music. So if you're an person that's indoory, you don't rave much, you got no business talking about what Krept and Conan are doing in the club. It's got nothing to do with you. You don't go to the club, you don't like club music, you're in your yard, bunning a spliff, drinking a fucking green tea.
Yeah.
Dude, what music do you want to listen to then?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the music we can judge. Maybe a bit of IMDb. Maybe a bit of Vibber.
Well,
I don't know, just a little bit of music.
You know
That's
what,
just, you know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Shameless plug, man. Come on, my brother.
There's so much of it out. It's like mediocrity has been a part of music from the beginning of time. This is not new. The only thing that you could probably say that is new now is that like there's an element of black music that is popular now. It's just popular. So when you have this popularity, and you have business, and we've talked about this so often, it's like, yeah, of course, now you're going to have one or two that are, doing some good things, making some good music or whatever. But as a whole, the forefront of that music is always going to sound, to someone like me, not that great. It's not going to appeal to me.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? It's just not going to appeal to me. This is here for the masses. And if your sound and your taste is dictated by the noise, then of course you may feel as though, you know what? There's nothing good out here at the moment. But you see, when you come to someone like me, I remember the time here where I was saying, like, you know what, I'm going to do I was saying to someone, like, I'm going to do my top 5 albums or my top 10 albums or whatever. And someone came up to me and said, a top 10? I couldn't even do a top 2. I said, yeah, but that's because your ear is dictated by noise. I could tell you mine. I could tell you a top 10 easy. There might not be some stuff that you would have listened to, but I'm telling you, there's some good stuff out there. In fact, you know what?
But Chuckie,
when someone says to me that there isn't much good stuff out there at the moment, I'm like, what? You're not hearing Children of Zeus? What? You're not hearing that new Rimsey?
You hear that new Shaka rhythm that he's got with Koji? Are you mad with the little video of him dancing?
Are you not hearing his Koji Radical album? Oh my God, there's a rhythm on there called Beautiful featuring Shaka and Wretch, which is a mad thing. Sonically it sounds amazing. What, you're not hearing this new Nuts that dropped?
Oh, Nuts.
You ain't hearing that? Huh?
You're not hearing this new Young Tef?
You didn't hear the new Young Tef?
He beat me up. Of course he beat me up. My brother. Come on, Tef, man.
Yeah, come on,
you know what? Put it.
Are you not hearing Shah Simone rap, by the way? What? That's a lot, sensational stuff.
But Chuckie, let's be honest though. Like, I can say my relationship with music growing up is my father and me and my brothers going on a bicycle, riding from Tottenham to Hackney to go to a market the same every Sunday to look at a guy with vinyls. And whilst my dad was going through the smaller vinyls because he wanted to find reggae music, I'd be going through the bigger vinyls, looking at Escape, Love on My Mind. I'll be looking at Tonight by Escape. I remember looking at Immature. Like, that's my way of looking at music. So I've never had to go to R Price or any of those stores that were available at the time to get music, because the music I wanted wasn't there. So if you haven't had that upbringing or you haven't had that way of looking for music, some people would have gone to that piff, or there's always an equivalent for someone where they went and they had to make an effort to look for music. If you are not making that effort to look for music, at this point in your life, if you've never made that effort, you're going to be disappointed. 100%. Because you're just listening to River Island music. And I don't even go there to shop. I don't even know an island with a river.
Got a young little checkered. When we was in Liverpool, you was like, oh no, Manchester, you was like, they love a checkered shirt up there. I was sitting in the car saying to myself, I'm not going to lie, I got a young one from River Island still.
Yeah, come on, man. You can buy an odd bit here and there, but ain't no one going there every weekend. You know what I'm saying? If you're an intricate type of person, you like particular things, you go there and get a one item, but some man are over there on a Saturday spending £250, and that's just not my thing.
Do you know what? Do you know what is a problem as well, I think, is that, like, well, I don't know. We can say it's a problem. Maybe I'm just being an old head here, innit? But like, I was like growing up here, I'm around like music lovers, innit? And we all had like, the common denominator that we had was not just the environment that we lived in, but just the stuff that we was listening to. So we was always sharing music amongst each other, whether it be tunes, MCs, whatever it may be. And we'd always talk a lot about what we liked and what we didn't like or whatever. And we all almost had the same thought process in how we saw it. We might all had different opinions, but there was the common denominator that we all had was the love that we had for it. The problem that I think that we have now is that we've got these people that still feel the same or look at music a certain way. Then you've got people who are super casual fans and they've all been put in one pot. and everyone's just talking. And sometimes when you put those people into the pot of the casual fan's noise seems so much louder than the actual music lover. So when I'm watching some of the conversations, yeah, exactly. When I'm watching the conversations, I'm like, I can almost see who's on what side. But at the same time, there's that saying. What's that saying? If you see two people arguing, what was it? If you see two people arguing, you don't know who's the fool. Or if there's one fool arguing with a sensible person, you can't work out who's the fool. It's one of the, it's a situation like that. Do you get what I'm saying?
Tottenham, you'll work it out. Well,
yeah, exactly. exactly. It's exactly that. But it's like, all of this has been put into one pot and we can all see this pot and we're all a part of it. Remember, Jeremy said it here on the pod before. It's like, we're all in one room. Everyone is just in one room. Everyone's just in one room.
I don't think that's true. I'm not in the same room with some of you niggas. You'd be lucky to be in my room.
But you know what I mean, essentially.
This is the problem. But there's many problems anyway. There's layers and layers and layers. I think when I take a look at the fact that I can compare old to new, I think one problem in new is that in the old, I knew music came out every Friday. Or every week. I was fully aware. Because Pop told Top of the Pops every Friday or Sunday, whatever the hell it was. At the end of the week, it was Top of the Pops, which told you what the number one new single was. Yeah. Which means there must have been competitors. Which means there was new music coming out every single week. And from my understanding, there's like 4 weeks in a month, which equates, there's 12 months in a year. So we're looking at what, 48 fucking weeks or whatever it is, or 52 weeks or whatever it happens to be in a year. That means every week for 52 to 48 to 52 weeks, there's new music coming out.
Yeah.
Every week. So if you're like 40 years old, you've got all the music that you know, and then from January the 1st, you've got 52 weeks to take care of new music and so on and so forth. Now, what I liked about back in the day is if you did go where you went to go and get music, say Body Music in Tottenham, if I went Body Music in Tottenham, I'm there. I don't have to worry about every section is dedicated to me apart from the small section in the back dedicated to pop music.
Yeah.
When you go to iTunes, for example, now, or you go to Spotify, there's just bare information. Like, I can see Adele on the same page as fucking D Block Europe, as the same as 600 Breezy. I was going to say something outrageous. Like, there's just too much on one thing. So, and I'm just too distracted. Like, I can't focus. I can't concentrate. Yeah. And therefore, you end up losing sight of what you want. And, bruv, I just think the way music is right now is very messy. Yeah, it's very messy. And in order for you to make sense of it, you got to dedicate time. Most people don't have time. Right. So because it's not convenience and it's not to your convenience, what do? Complain.
Yeah, man, just want
get out of River Island.
Sorry, man, just want to hear good music. Man, don't want to search and look. I just want to hear. It's the UK top 40. Show me the top songs.
Yeah, but that's honestly that's the stupidest thing I've heard today.
Do you know what's happening now as well? That's how I feel about it, though.
Yeah, but you gotta look at the top 40 and ask yourself, is that representative of me? Like I said, music has ceilings. I don't know what your ceilings are. You can't just think everyone's got the same ceiling. Some people love raving and doing coke and all of that every single Saturday. They don't want to listen to Donnell Jones. This is for my players in the hood. We've got no business. You got no business listening to that. You go listen to some house music and all of that. So like I said, in this country, is why I said I think J Hus is a superstar. In this country, if you take a look at what the most popular music is, if you know J Hus, Jesus Christ, done a fucking good job, bruv. Because realistically, the amount of music that's the biggest ceiling in here is club music. Adele's done a bloody good job because the biggest music is going to be club music. Everyone raves every Saturday and Sunday. That's the most popular ceiling for music. And driving music. That will be the most popular ceilings. There's people there, it's embracing, all of that. So you do anything outside of that and you exceed, well done. So if you're looking to the top 40 to give you information, but the most popular music is fucking dance music, and on top of that you're in England. Nah, I heard that. You're the fool. And you don't look like a fool. Yeah, exactly. You don't look like you got River Island. But look what's happening. I'm done. No more River Island. I'm done.
I mean, it's also
but I think go on, sorry.
It's also the playlist thing. Now there's so many playlists. You just subscribe to a playlist and you get lazy with it. So you come back, you don't actually look deliberately for music in the same way that we did before.
Do you know what the thing is? I honestly, now like listening to that, it's made me think that like, I think that we've always had to look for good music.
Yes.
We've always had to look for it. But now, as what he just said, it's so messy and there's so much in there. It's like, are you the person who's going to look for good music, or are you going to just kick back and wait for it to be given to you? If you're going to kick back and just wait for it to be given to you, then of course, the state of affairs are going to be the way that they are.
But do you know why people are like that? Because they wake up, the alarm tells them they get up. When they need to leave the yard, they just jump onto their house and get an Uber. They don't even cook no more. Went to a girl's house thinking that she's going to cook for me. Uber Eats. Everything in life is convenience. You want it to your convenience. If there's something you really love like music, go and look.
Go and look for it. Go and look. I think we need to... What probably needs to happen is, because it's so messy, maybe there needs to be like, for people who are trying to understand like why they may feel like there isn't so much good music or whatever it may be, yeah, then there might need to be some new type of order in how music. I don't know, but all I know is this, yeah, is that like when people do say, you know what, like back in the day it was a little bit more, there was a little bit more order. I kind of disagree with that. I think all it is that obviously music was a little bit more there was more of a process to make music and whatever. So that took the convenience away of someone just saying, oh, look, I can just do that and just rapping or whatever it may be. Yeah, there's a little bit more of a process. But with that being said, the order in which music was coming out at a certain point, when we look back at it now, we don't really fuck with it, because a lot of that was dictated by business. Do you get what I'm saying? People that were able to turn around and say, you know what, this is the blueprint, and this is, you know, like there was that thing of, I remember I was working for a company at the time, and it was like the way that we'd put out music was, yo, like we needed, it was so important to go and talk to the radio plugger. This was everything, this meeting, like I'll never forget this, and I'm not gonna say a name, but I had this song and I had to go and I had to sit down and I had to explain to them why they should play this song. And so like, you know what would happen, yeah? I'll go there, and this is how you know that sometimes you're dealing with people that are like fully on business, because you're sitting in a room with people that sit like this. Or this. And they got their arms crossed, yeah, and we don't come from the same place at all. And I'm sitting there and I'm having to explain to them, yo, this person comes from whatnot, they've been doing X, Y, and Z and whatever it may be. They don't have no information about what's going on. All the information is coming from me. I play them the song, they might like it. You know what? I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll get this DJ to play it. Yeah, we'll give it, what do they call it? Specialist. Yeah. So we'll give it some specialist slots. So like, you know, the DJs that are on from 7 o'clock onwards, there's the one who's playing it. Once then it creates a little bit of a thing. And not even just that, we can say create a bit of a thing. If this person likes it, then I might call him a young Animac or you understand what I'm saying? Then it will get the Radio 1 thing, and then that just becomes this is like a whole business and structure in how you put music out. Now it's not like that. I could just do it from my bedroom. If it gets a young 5 million YouTube views or whatever it is, I could just do that from my yard or whatever. Do you get what I'm saying?
That's amazing.
But exactly. So essentially, the point that I'm making is that when people talk about the order in how it was before, I don't think people really understand what that actually means, because that order is what held so much people back.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. That order meant that certain people could never be involved in that conversation or that situation because they couldn't conform to that order. At least today, there's different types of orders that you can sort of conform to. But yeah, man, I just think people are lazy nowadays.
And sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I do sit like this now, because I'm getting, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
a little young check comes in every once in a while. Do you know what I mean? You get what I'm saying? When a young check comes in, yeah, man, why not?
That's a corporate.
Yeah, man, a little one check comes in every once in a while. Why not? You get what I'm saying?
Come on, my brother. I'm over here just like you, my brother. Never mind.
What are you gonna say, Isak? You don't have a microphone, my brother.
No, I get checks as well.
My question is, as a music purist, somebody who loves music, right? Do you feel that when you catch a gem, you don't want to share it because you don't want it to be diluted?
Absolutely not. I share it to people that I know love music the same way I do. Yeah. And I only surround, like, I don't really have, I mean, of course I've got some friends that are just not really necessarily into it like that. But it just, like, one of my best friends, I wouldn't say is like a super music fan like that. You know, he just likes what he just likes or whatever. But like some of my other friends really are. So I just share it with them. And you know what? I feel like it's almost an element of my duty that, because when I have this is one of the reasons why at the end I always say, what is it one thing that people need to know about? And I'm always like mentioning the song here or there or whatnot, because if you're anything like me, not to say that I have the best music taste or whatever, but you know what? if I introduce you to someone that I think is good, then you know what? Maybe you might think they're good. Then maybe you might go back and check some stuff. Then maybe you might then see, you know what? Let me go to that live show and see what's going on with this artist. You might then buy a ticket to that show, which then helps the artist to be able to, you know, understand what I'm saying? Maybe you might then buy the merch. Maybe you might then start fully investing in that artist, which is a great thing for that artist. But usually the things that I will suggest is it never usually has a massive amount of noise attached to it.
Well, the music that you like.
Yeah, the music that I like. I mean, there is some stuff, but you know, like more often than not, if I'm talking about it here, I try to like, you know what I mean? Well, like right now, you know, for me, I'm listening to Koji Radical's album and I absolutely love it. You know what I mean? And we sat and we had a conversation. He got to number 11 and I know he really wanted to get a number 10. And I said to him, bro, you know what? Yeah. I said, you see, in time to come, I get it. Like, I get that, you know, for some artists, there's certain things that mean a lot to them. I could never tell you what should mean something to you and what shouldn't. But let me tell you this, yeah. You see, when 5 years goes by, we will not talk about whether this went 11, 10, 5, 1. Do you know what we'll talk about? Was it good?
It was a classic.
What was it good? Yeah, was it good? Did you go to the live show tonight? It was fun. Like, how often, whenever we sit and talk about the music that we really like or certain moments in UK black music or even in our history, we rarely talk about the number. We always talk about how that made us feel. And I said to him in particular, you know what, yeah, you will be able to look back and say, I smashed it. I made such a good body of work that his fans and people that may not necessarily know him that well, and that might have just came across him through like a lot of people just like promoting it or whatever, turn around and say, no, this is actually a really good album. I'm hearing people that don't even love music like that. I'm saying to them, yo, like and I'm not even just saying this, but literally just yesterday, I was talking to someone, they was asking me like, what are you listening to at the moment? And I told them, I said, what are you listening to? Like, I said, what song reflects the vibe that you're in right now? Where the sun was out, you know what I mean? It was a little vibe and whatever. And that person come back and said, you know what? I'm actually listening to Koji's album and I really like it. And I'm like, yeah? You listening to Koji, yeah? Kind of like that. I fancy you now. It's a girl, by the way. yeah.
Don't worry, it's a Rasta Man show. I believe it. Rasta show. Come on, man. Yeah. I'll be real with you though, man. I think when I saw Koji do that, I was a little bit hurt because I always say this: when you're making music, and it's not gonna say good or bad music. I think that has nothing to do with it. I think it's more to do with the sound and is the sound popular within that country. And if you're making a sound which is not primarily that popular within that country, bro, understand that you're sacrificing. The sacrifice you're making is incredible. You're not compromising who you are for your environment. You're saying to your environment, get to know me. And I think that's always going to be a harder task than finding a compromise and saying, hey, get to know me, but I kind of like you lot as well. I want to do this. So he didn't really do that. You know what I'm saying? The compromise he probably had was not that great to me. I felt like he was one of the greatest examples of Koji, which is never usually a compromise. So to fight then for a chart position without a lack of compromise, it's like, it's bigger than that. It's like you said, it's bigger than a chart position. If you fucking finished 21, I wouldn't have felt any... I don't care where you finished. I was just listening to that body work, like, right, inspired, bro. So I think, yeah, people that Koji, they have a stronger responsibility than a chart position, and I think in time you learn that. And if people ever want to think I'm chatting shit, remember Scarface, when it came out, it was a flop.
Right.
That's all I'll say. Do you know who made Scarface big? Culture. Because the people within culture related to the story more than Boston, Middle America. America at a time where they don't understand the story of a guy coming from South America, where he came from, to America and becoming a flipping drug warlord. That's not a story that little Stevie boy from fucking Texas and his daddy's a redneck and they just killed a couple niggas last week. They ain't gonna fucking relate to that shit. So like, I just think, Koji, you're sensational, bro. You don't need... They wouldn't understand that sound. And that's calm I'm calm with that.
Yeah, no, fact.
Spice Girls still made too much and it's a banger. You saw when I played that on the bus. They tried to deny it.
Man went from what? You went from 600 Breezy to Capleton to Spice Girls.
from Capleton
From
to Spice
Capleton.
Girls.
600 breezy.
And Elephant Man.
Jeez, come on.
You lucky I ain't got bounty killer. Bulletproof. Hit me one bulletproof skip. That's the vibe I've been on. But yeah, man.
Yeah.
Music's beautiful, man. I think there's loads of good
There's
music.
so much good music.
There's so much great artists. If you want, I'll just tweet every single Friday some of the artists I listen to. We keep telling you good musicians here. I think to keep saying there's no good music is a cop out. You're just lazy. Say
We're
I'm
looking for
lazy.
it, man.
I can't bother to look. Someone send me some suggestions. That's what you should do.
Yeah. And there's a couple of times I actually do that on Twitter, where I'll just say, oh, you know what? There's no good music out at the moment. And then people say, no, yes, there is. There's, and I'm like, okay, yeah, boom, yeah, you're sending me some really.
You're
Yeah,
such
cool.
a
Boom,
little
like,
troublemaker.
I fling them in
guys.
my avoiding the noise playlist or whatever, and you get what I'm saying. But
I
but yeah.
like that though.
But are we off music then? Yeah, quick.
Where you going?
Someone, when I asked, someone, I was like on the HC Pod Insta, I was like, yeah, me and Poe's recording, boom. Like, what should we talk about? Do you know what someone said?
What?
If you impregnated the last person you had sex with, how would you feel?
Great.
Oh man.
I would feel great.
Let me ask the man then.
Solid enough, yeah, comfy.
Comfy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Active. 100.
But I'll lose. The thing is, it depends though. I would feel great because I'm gonna have about 10 baby mums. So it is what it is, isn't it? But if you was looking for wifey, you have a problem.
Yeah.
Context.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I wouldn't want to have my first child like that, but if it happened, I wouldn't have been mad with the person that happened with. You get what I'm saying?
Well, I'm 2-0 up, so
Yeah, but you, come on, man. Like,
2-0
you,
up,
that was the missus. As a single man, it's a bit different, isn't it? If you're outside a tiny bit or whatnot. Remember, we have to do because remember,
a bit different. He didn't see me when I found out. I'm a real nigga. I can tell you. When I heard I was having kids, I said, "Pardon, me."
it was still your
It
missus.
didn't matter
though.
if it was a single.
I hear you, but it was your missus.
Children.
I hear you. No, do you know what? I can't.
Children. We don't even know where I was. I might have been leaving.
I hear that.
I might have been saying this ain't working out. I'm pregnant. But see ya. Here we are then, innit? So now
There's something just a bit different though when you just go out. You know what I mean? You just take a one slice.
I guess it's that you might not know the babes the same way.
Right.
So you don't know how she's gonna raise the kids, all this kind of stuff, on top of just like having a kid out of nowhere.
Right, and that's why this is it was an interesting question when you look beneath the surface, because you know what, like sometimes when it comes to chopping, we're not always trying to have that level of depth in a conversation. If we have it, we have it. Do you get me? I'm a man, I specialize in conversations sometimes, but sometimes guess what? I don't. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes it's not that. Do you know what? Let me be honest. No. Let me be 100. This isn't always dictated by me. Yeah. Sometimes it's dictated by them.
Yeah.
I remember one. I remember one time. Yeah, I'm in my. I got flat now. They're called bachelor pad, whatnot now, and I've met this one girl. I can never remember where she's from, but anyways, come back to the apartment and whatnot. So I'm just kicking back with her, just talking to her because I don't know. I know it's on the cards. Like I know we're gonna do a thing because she lives far, yeah. But she said she's come to stay with me and she's got her bag and whatever. So we're just chilling now, whatnot, talking. So I'm just getting to know her. Boom, boom, boom. Do you know what she said to me? Are you gonna shut the fuck up and fuck me? And I was like,
It's like that sometimes.
yeah, but I hear that, and you know, like we can sit and look at that and say, oh, yo, that's lit, whatnot, yeah. But that threw me off because I'm having a conversation. I'm enjoying this conversation, only to realise, right, she actually wasn't even enjoying that. Yeah. She wasn't enjoying that.
No, she was. But the longer she stayed, she just got increasingly frustrated. At the fact that,
Yeah.
Oh,
hear
put
you,
it on me, man, Char.
Yeah, man, I've been
Yeah.
that guy as well. I hear you. So
I'm
it is
here.
what it
The
is.
chatting got her into the apartment.
Do you get it?
Yeah, man.
I'm here.
She said I
We
bought
can
an
chat
overnight
after.
bag.
Yeah, she bought
I
overnight,
ain't
but
going
I'm just
nowhere.
doing bare talking. All 3-4 hours in, and I'm just there, just chatting, catching, just
You're a
thinking,
nice guy.
thinking I just need to soften this one. You understand what I'm saying?
You're a nice guy.
You know what I mean? Just catching a young vibe. These times she's just thinking, oh, for fuck's sake.
But some
Like-
things are circumstantial though. You can read the room and you can tell that today's talking, today's not talking. And
I definitely didn't read it that day.
Yeah.
I could have shaved off a good 2 hours.
Boy.
You know what I mean?
what time was it? Everything's circum for me.
Boy, what time
I
was
like
it?
to set the tone. I set the tone. So I don't want to be disappointed. I don't want to disappoint no one. But if we're in the cab on the way home, we're having a convo. and this is what I, you know.
Yeah.
And if we get there, if she's saying to me, "Boy, it's going down," it's going down.
Have you ever read the room wrong in a sense where you didn't think it was going to be that, but then realised, rah, it really is that?
Yes.
Yes.
Tell me. Go, just dip back
Do you
into
know
a
what?
bank.
I'll just say one of my friends. It happened to one of my friends the other day. I won't say who.
Okay.
Nothing. But this is just how we feel about the situation. Actually, I can't because.
Okay,
I'm
go
gonna hear
back.
it.
Go further back.
Should I? Can I do this? But I'm not mentioning names.
You're not going to mention names. I mean, listen, I'm always going to persuade you to do it. but if like, I don't want you to come back and say to me, "Oh no, delete that."
Because it was me. If it was
Especially
me,
if it's a
obviously
good
say it.
story.
It's a great story.
All right, do you know what it
Let's
was?
just-
No, it wasn't you.
It wasn't me
wasn't
anyway.
you.
It wasn't me
It wasn't
anyway.
you. It
No,
wasn't
it wasn't
you.
me. It wasn't me.
It wasn't.
And it wasn't anyone I know.
Right.
This just happens to be a story in life.
Right.
So I went out. Big man. There was a party. People were there.
Right.
It was mad party. A mad party. Fuck it, I was there. I'm with my fucking friends. I just won't say who they are. This is too frustrating to figure out. We've gone out, bro. We've gone to a venue where there's guys on stage with bigger tits than my mum. So I'm in there having a good time.
What kind of venue,
Exactly.
bruv?
Big man, if you know, you know. It's a mad thing. I've seen Snoop Dogg in there. I've seen a madness.
man.
It was the venue where,
You don't have to say the venue.
yeah, it's mad.
You don't have to say the
venue.
venue because I
Put it
have
this way.
I have a feeling I know which venue it is. but
Yeah.
No, you don't
People
gotta
go
say.
there and keep up with a load of fuckery.
Right.
But we're in that venue now, yeah? And we're all there and it's getting late. So when it's getting late, more time you just need someone to say, yeah, it's home time. No one's really saying it. Apart from this one individual who happens to be a female. She keeps hinting to one person, I might go. Person's not reading it. They then start hinting to that person, oh, my phone's not working, I need to get a cab. Person's still not clocking it. They come back like
I
2 or
would
3
have
times
clocked-
later, like, oh, my phone's not working. Because there is legitimately isn't working. But
Right.
no one knows why it's not working.
Okay.
They could have caused it not to work. So they keep going to this
Right.
one particular person saying, I can't go home.
Okay.
Now, because the person's a good human, they got them a cab home.
Oh, okay.
Not a cab to their home.
Oh,
And that's why I like people that are good people.
Yeah, that would have been me. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know if that would have been me.
That would have been me.
I would have. It would have been me, but half me.
Yeah.
So there's 30% in me that would have been like, well, no, I might as well come back tomorrow and get Uber from mine, innit? And the moment they say, okay, we've just agreed.
Yes. yeah.
But the moment they're like, oh, that's long, I'm like, oh, no,
Oh,
you're
yeah, that's
cab home.
long. Yeah, of course.
I'm just going to hear that's long. But the moment you're like, you don't mind.
You know what? From when in a situation like
Netflix
that,
and
if I
Disney Plus.
did, I know me in it. If I did say, "Oh, do you know what? You might as well come back to mine," and she said, "Oh yeah, okay," I'm standing up. My thing is almost ready there and then because you know what? You know what? Yeah, because you know what? I'm not on this. Oh yeah, let's stay for half an hour longer.
no.
You know what? Let's bounce now.
now.
Yeah.
What? Oh my god! Because I know what's on the menu now.
But you know
Pretty
what's
much.
crazy?
Pretty much.
The girl was sensational.
Yeah.
Absolutely sensational.
Yeah.
And the guy was sensational. But sometimes, you see when the girl's that sensational and it's that forward, you don't think it's power.
it. You're just like,
You
she's
don't
trying to
think
get
it's
home.
power.
Yeah.
It's too forward.
Do you know, it is actually funny how like your team can just go from 0 to 100 from one word.
Sentence.
Yeah.
Bro.
Oh, do you know what? I'll come back to yours. What?
Huh?
Okay.
In the sense that you are as well, I can't lie. I've had some low moments in my life where girls have hinted things and I've just not clocked because I'm just not in a great place. I'm like,
Oh yeah.
But then if I'm in sensational form, like now, hint, hint, you ever put that little thing on, what? Doggy, froggy, we're flying, we're getting Paris in the morning, I just get gassed about nothing. And
You have.
everything.
I'm a man. More time. Sometimes you just got to spell it out to me a bit. Still, even if it's just like, if it's that same situation and she's talking about her phone's thing, I'm probably gonna get her Uber home, unless like if I'm trying to suggest the Uber home, whatever, and she does the. Remember what we was talking about with the, when they just lightly graze the thing.
just do that,
Then I might change the suggestion a tiny bit because there's a thing. Do you understand what I'm saying?
signal there.
Like there was a time where like I'm super cool with someone. Never like all I ever heard about was guys that a guy that she liked or whatever. Now I'm driving the car. I've got my hand on the gear stick and she's put her hand on top of mine. I said,
Okay.
swear.
Composure.
Don't crash the car now.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't concentrate on the rest of the conversation now because this is new.
He said this is new.
This is different. How do I
on.
maneuver in this? Because I don't want to be disrespectful, but there's something different that's happening now.
We gotta be careful with that line as well. Don't want to be You're touching me. So what? It's not disrespectful for me.
Right, that's true.
Your backside.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Come
true.
on now. I've gone to the bars one time, Chuckie. I can't lie. A girl just had a manicure done. The nail them looking fresh, and she just drew it down my shoulder to ask for a drink. I bought her the bottle. So what are you doing to me?
See how the flesh is weak.
I'm a Cancerian, man. We're in water. I'm wet.